They say the beginning is the important thing in most things. And honestly, I agree with that quite a bit. I've been sitting on this idea for quite a long time, thinking that I really should do a podcast or a blog or something like that. But continually finding myself with a bad case of analysis paralysis, simply put. Not wanting to put out anything that wasn't perfect. And in fact, today I spent a healthy amount of time driving around because I had these grand dreams that I would start this, panning off to the Statue of Liberty on Alki Beach, panning out to the street, and then pontificating on something glorious along the lines of Plato, the philosopher, said that the beginning was important in all things. And yea, verily, he was wise. And then I realized exactly how much horseshit that is. Because, honestly, that's just not me. Just another average, ordinary fat guy. Maybe not necessarily. Not fully average, not entirely ordinary, certainly fat. But, also a real proponent of my friends, a real proponent of the pursuit of knowledge for knowledge's sake, a data junkie. And that's one of the big reasons why I'm doing this. I want to put my experience out there, and it has been diverse. At this time, I am currently the president of a Toastmasters Club, a distinguished Toastmaster, the president of an Eagles Airy, Eagles Airy number 1, the Mother Airy, the proud father of 2 remarkably capable kids, married for 24 years, pirate for 15, sales for 15, construction for 10, driven any number of things, cleaned out the inside of a concrete mixer once, that was pretty entertaining, built septic tanks, built restaurant furniture, been bankrupt, been not bankrupt, dealt with substance issues, dealt with mental health issues, currently medicated myself for mental health issues, but that's just part of life, really, you know. If you don't have the right chemicals yourself, store-bought ones do just fine, or so I've been told. And I just want the opportunity to reach out and share my passion for learning things, share my perspective on things, help out where I can with other folks who may have questions on things, and really do my best to further knowledge. Well, further set forth the pursuit of knowledge. I'm really going to do my best to not overly edit this because, simply put, I do a lot of my best thinking on the fly. I respond best under tight circumstances. And there is a certain perfection in imperfection, really. Or so I'm led to believe. As the old saying goes, good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. So I would like to give everyone the benefit of my poor judgment over the years. As mentioned, I kind of started out the day looking to try and start this on a grand sweeping scale, showing off the vastness of the city and getting everything all picturesque and perfect. Instead, we're starting this in the cigar room of doom. It's a little bit of a story in and of itself. I was never actually much of a smoker until I joined the Pirates, and then I realized that it was a great way to live out the pipe paradox, which I'm a very big fan of, which basically states that a pipe gives a wise man time to think and a fool something to stick in his mouth. And on any given day, I can actually opt for either one of those. I have my good moments, not so bright some other times, but that's okay. What I'm hoping to do with this is I am hoping to provide a platform to answer any questions that arise, to assist people with anything that I might be able to help with, to hopefully not have the dogs bark in the middle of this on a regular basis. Gosh knows how well that's going to work. To give a platform for friends who want to share the things that interest them, to share their knowledges, to give other people a chance to get out there and really to meet people and to network a little bit more, because I really have a passion for helping support those around me. I've got a real passion for watching other people grow. I come from a very strong mentorship background. And in all of the things that I've done and succeeded in, I've had very great mentors to show me the way. I'm taking a little bit of a chance on this because honestly, I don't have a mentor for video blogging or really aggressively consulting, which is something that I would like to do. One of the reasons why this is called the A Little Knowledge YouTube channel, or at least it will as soon as I can figure out how to call it the A Little Knowledge YouTube channel, is because I really adhere to the belief that a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Not just from the perspective of one well-placed idiot can bring down the entire world. I've been that idiot. But also from the perspective that once you have little knowledge, you want a little more. A little knowledge is a remarkably addictive thing. And that's really what has driven a lot of my pursuits over the course of the years, is finding out more, learning about people, learning about process, learning about why things are the way they are, looking at them from different perspectives and seeing what other ways they could be, looking at issues that arise and trying to find a simple, equitable solution. Not quite a Gordian knot sort of thing, certainly, and I wouldn't dream to claim myself an expert on everything, but I have tended to have a fairly decent eye for ways around problems, or at least have a tendency to process them through pretty aggressively to the point where able to help at least offer a decent perspective on them. That and the additional benefit of, with construction and with the Pirates both, it was a tremendous regular opportunity to work in varied circumstances, under varying forms of management, with different stylings. Adding in the benefits of Toastmasters, it has really polished a lot of my communication skills and understanding of what helps motivate people, what's a good way to help steer them around, and understanding that not everybody is going to be the same or respond in the same manner. It's remarkably tempting to try and make this about lofty, important, quality stuff. Remarkably tempting. But God's honest truth, I'm really more about my own petty entertainment, and if there's something funny that comes along that we can do, that's awesome. If someone wants to just come along and riff on lame puns for half an hour or so at a time and share it with everybody, that is also awesome. If there are steampunk makers or cosplayer friends or poet friends or performer friends, would love to have this be a showcase. Ultimately, if it furthers the viewpoint of either gaining knowledge, if it furthers the viewpoint of building people up, if it furthers the viewpoint of sharing things that other people may not necessarily know, I am gung-ho to support it every step of the way. I will freely acknowledge there are some days it will make a lot more sense than others. I'm aiming for once a week. We'll see how well that works. There will be good days, there will be bad days, certainly. We're slightly out of frame because I don't necessarily have something to set up for that. As mentioned, probably not going to edit too much. There will be drinking. I will tell you that flat out. There will be drinking. Odds are there will be cigar smoking as well, just because I happen to really dig cigar smoking. There will undoubtedly be suggestive comments, very likely some offensive jokes. Odds are some political commentary, though I'd prefer to stay out of that as much as I can. But ultimately, it'll just be a question of, let's make this channel what we want it to be. And what we want it to be is going to consist of what the people watching it want it to be. I would love to run like a Dear Ruffian column and answer questions as they come up. I would love to have cheesy gong show type antics just because I love cheesy humor. It turns out I actually do know a couple comics whose names escape me right now, which is really sad because a couple of them are really super awesome. Uh, my personal network is vast and diverse, and I would love the opportunity to let every one of you meet them. So if anyone wants to join me for this sometime, we'll sit down in a coffee shop, we will shoot the shit about whatever we would like to, and share it with the world. Fully expecting the fact that we're going to piss off a few people along the way. I will probably get hurt feelings because I'm such a delicate flower. Anyway, ideally we'll start these at about 15 minutes, give or take, as we start to find some footing, start to get a better idea of what they're going to turn into. We'll make it even better. The long-term goal is to basically, from a personal perspective, I would like to honestly spread my legend a bit. I've had a really good time, and I've managed to meet a lot of really great people who've really enriched my life. And the more people you know, the more that you are able to expose yourself to in a non-nude fashion, the greater chance it will be overall to expand your reach and expand your influence. I like to think I've been a positive influence. I've actually helped connect a couple couples. I've helped direct people down some good paths. They've done it all themselves because they're awesome people, but it helps be around to consult on occasion. And along the way, I hope to learn a few things in general from you folks. So, I'm doing this today to have it done. I've been talking about podcasting, blogging, tweeting for years. And the more I talk about it, the less I get it done. And my big goal has always been to be better, a better me, a little bit more each day. Still fat. Not happy about that. But still fairly charming, and I've got a great support circle. So I've got that going for me. And now I've got a perfectly good phone to talk to. And occasionally it may talk back. And occasionally there may be other people with me talking to the phone. And that can be entertaining. So, eventually we'll need a title card. I'm always happy to ask for help with things. Eventually we might actually do editing. Who knows? I would certainly love to have people join me for this. I would certainly love to have discussions. And I would certainly like to have a few laughs. Ultimately, this is a hobby. Ultimately, this is a chance to get things out there. And I would like to pretty much say thank you for everyone who's kept pushing and supporting on this sort of thing. There are some really great folks out there. And I'm grateful for all of the support that I've had. There's a lot of long dramatic pauses in this, mostly because I'm trying to find my thoughts, which is not necessarily surprising considering I'm usually flapping my gums before my brain catches up. And I'm trying to find good ways to frame this both in the beginning and the end. We will need to work on a... You'll notice I say we a lot, because as far as I'm concerned, while this is my project, while this is my hobby, while this is my YouTube channel, I consider it a we thing. Because I'm only going to succeed based on how well it's received. Even if it fails miserably, I know I still have support from folks. And it's going to take a little bit of courage to put this out to begin with, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. I mean, really, what have we got to lose? It's not like I haven't been laughed at before. Not like I haven't given cause. And, of course, the only times I haven't been laughed at, I've actually been trying to get laughed at, so we all know how well that works. Anywho, so how you doing? How's things going with you? Let me know. If there's any questions you have, feel free to ask in the comments. If there's anything you'd like to see, again, feel free to ask in the comments. If you have a skill that you'd like to offer or a viewpoint that you'd like to put out, please know that I am a very firm believer in personal autonomy. I'm a very firm believer in the right to your own opinions, provided that you can back them up. And I'm happy to play devil's advocate or just a guy across the table for anyone who would like to share really pretty much anything. And please know that if you do decide to join me for this, I will talk you up like you are the greatest thing since sliced bread, because my friends are the best thing since sliced bread, except for the fact of bread in and of itself. And a really good bread. Oh, noms. Anywho, carrying on. Actually, hey, you know what? We can even offer a dating service. So if you want to meet other people, come out. We will put you on. We will introduce you to everyone in my circle and everyone in their circle. It can be like a weird dating game sort of thing. We'll even try and come up with some worthwhile, wacky questions to ask you. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it might be entertaining. And this could actually go on for a long time, because at this point I'm largely rambling, but the goal today was to put at least 10 minutes worth of content onto YouTube. And with that, I have accomplished it. As I put on my extra super squint. You know, conveniently enough, I know a professional esthetician, name it Jasmine, who at some point or another, I may need studio makeup. A little bit positive on that. So, with a scowl and Mike Devine's favorite joke, a guy walks into a bar with a giraffe. And he sits down and he orders a drink for himself and the giraffe. Sorry, giraffe. Well, and they sit and they drink and they have 2 or 3 drinks. And eventually, the giraffe, being a giraffe, and them having that super high metabolism at real lightweight, passes out like nothing flat. Well, the guy keeps drinking for a while, and after a little bit, he goes ahead and he picks up his hat and he starts walking out the door. Bartender says, "Hey, you can't leave that lion there." The guy says, "That ain't no lion. That's a giraffe." May all your lions be giraffes, my friends. Have a great evening.